Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon, good morning. I see Mapule's in South Africa and it's 4 a.m. Welcome and thank you for being with us here today. Welcome to all of you. Who would believe that we are on session 4 already of Successful You? And who's feeling successful, huh? Who's feeling the success? Hasn't it been a great week? Thank you so much to every single one of you who has participated, who got up at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, who made sure that they were here all day, every day, and who did the work. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, the feedback that I am getting from my success advisors about you has been absolutely extraordinary. Thank you so much. And I can't believe how quickly the days go when you're having fun, huh? We've had such an incredible week with Successful You. What has been your highlight? Tell me what's been your highlight. I'd love to see you. I'd love to see who's here. Mapule, Angie, Jill. I saw Leslie earlier on. Hello, everybody. Welcome. What's been your highlight? What has been your one key takeaway so far? What has been the moment that has changed something inside you? I would love to know. Jill says excited for all that you are learning, Leslie. Absolutely. So what has been your one key moment? What has changed for you so far? I love these 7-day masterclasses because 100% hands down, I've had millionaires do my program. I've had people that are just starting out and don't have any money do my program. And you know, one thing for sure is those that put in the work, even if they know this information, even if they've heard it, something happens when you jump on board to a Your Two Minds masterclass. Something happens when you're in the room with Susanna and her incredible team. And I can't explain that, but every single time, 100% of the time, people who actually participate and do the work start to see the change, start to see more successes in their lives. And I love what you have been sharing with me. So some of you have sent a message to me. Some of you have sent it to your success advisor about what has just happened to you just in the past few days. So I had Deb from Queensland send me a beautiful message of excitement and gratitude, saying that several new clients have come and contacted her just because of the work that she's been doing in the past week. Isn't that just extraordinary? Absolutely extraordinary. I've had people say that relationships at work have just been smoother. Someone sent me a message the other day just saying, oh my God, a miraculous thing happened at work, where people are just getting on. The team is actually collaborative. And that was one of their goals. They wanted a successful business, a successful team. So Savage, my beautiful dear Savage, my dear beautiful friend, said that I love the realization that I'm 99.999% source energy. Absolutely. You cannot open up to that and change. Something inside you must change because you start to approach the world and life a lot differently. Dean says the highlights are that I am at the right place at the right time. Susanna speaks the language that I understand. Thank you so much, Dean. It's so great to have you here. Leslie, having fun always. Always is my highlight. My key moment, I used my voice and read aloud in public on a global platform. Absolutely. So Leslie joined our study circle. You Were Born Rich study circle on Wednesday morning, and you have to see that story. Leslie read aloud the first time ever. Congratulations, Leslie, in public in front of 3,000 people in our group. She shared that, having dyslexia, she wasn't able to do that before. What a huge breakthrough. Now that is success. That is success. And you would not have known. She read perfectly. Hi, Joe. So Joe says this is a special place at such a high higher vibration. Absolutely. We vibrate highly. That's where the magic happens, right? Why would you ever be down in the dumps when you understand that you are 99.9999999, 12 nines after that, if you want to follow science, energy, source energy, pure intelligence. Now, it's one thing to know that information. It's one thing to show up at these lessons. But what are you going to do after these lessons finish? We've only got a few days to go. You see, I've been in this field for a long time. I'm not one of Bob Proctor's best for no reason. There's a reason why I'm one of his top people in the world and why he has publicly said that about me. And I know one thing, there's two types of people. The first type, which is probably a common type, they seek free classes and they attend anything that is for free or cheap, thinking that that's going to change their life forever. And the other person is, nah, I'm going to make a decision and I'm going to do this. And they invest time and money in themselves. I want you all to have permanent results. And we've had such a great time in the past 4 days. And you've learned some things about yourself. And many of you have started to see a difference in their life as a result of just 4 days. Just 4 days. Where would you be if you had a whole year of this? Where would you be? Where would your life be? How would it be different? What would it mean for you if you could tap into just 10% more of that 99% of who you truly are? How would your life be? You see, you all should have your definition of success right now. What is your definition of success? I haven't seen many of you sharing, so that's why I haven't shared my definition either. What is your definition of success? I think it was it Joe that said, Joe DiMaria, was it you that said time and money freedom? One of the guys said time and money freedom. Was it Dean? What is your definition of success? Because if you don't really define, yes, it was you, Joe. Yeah, I thought so. Because if you don't really define what your definition is for you, and you don't feel it deeply, then you're in a state of confusion. Or as soon as something happens on the external, you're going to sway. Okay? You might know, you might want it, but you'll sway in any direction that the world takes you. And I'm going to talk more about that. And today is not going to be comfortable for everyone, but if I'm always making you comfortable and feel good, I'm not doing my job. So I don't apologize. I don't like people not feeling good or not feeling comfortable, but I don't apologize, because if I didn't, how in the world would you ever break through? If somebody did not tell you the truth about you and what's blocking you, if someone did not invite you to step out into the unknown, then you're going to stay comfortable and nothing changes, right? Nothing changes. So who's ready to get a little bit uncomfortable today? I think you all are. I think I've got pretty much understanding of each of you and where you're at. And I think you're all pretty ready. So I'm going to do a little bit of a recap And then I'm going to share my story with you, and we're going to get really deep in this session. Okay, we're going to have a deep and meaningful. If you were right here next to me, in front of me, I'd be eyeballing you so deeply that you'll feel the transformation deep inside your soul. 100%, Dean said. All right, so let's do a recap. So who's got their definition of success? And what does the universe loves order? What does that mean? I've given you a clue. I've started with that. Leslie said, hell yeah, I do discomfort well. So ready for deep, deep eyeball. Fantastic. It's time. It's time. We're so, in Western culture, we're so afraid of offending people that we've been conditioned not to tell the truth. And in that conditioning, just not to offend people, people end up not being challenged. And if you're not challenged, you stay where you are. You stay in your anxiety. You stay in an unfulfilled relationship. You stay in, in the results that you've always had. So who remembers, what does the universe loves order mean? What does the universe loves order mean? So Joe said order starts knowing one's own self-image. Yeah, so yeah, you do need to have a strong self-image. I'm not sure if order starts with your self-image, but that is definitely a part of order. You have to have an orderly self-image. Absolutely, 100%. Who can remember from session 1, what does the universe love order mean? So basically what the universe loves order means that nature is orderly. Okay, nature is orderly, and you need order. Okay, you need order. You need a clear definition of what it is you want. Okay, you need a clear definition of what it is that you want. So what does the universe loves order mean? So you need clarity, you need order. So when you look at nature, nature is orderly, right? So you plant a seed, and I want you to listen to this very, very carefully because it's going to lead us into the next step. So Joe said, yay. So you plant a seed, and let's say that seed, I use the example of a pink apple seed. You plant it in healthy soil, okay, and you give it the minerals and everything that it needs. You water it, etc., and eventually it doesn't happen overnight. It does not happen overnight. Okay, eventually that seed grows into a tree, and eventually it will give you an abundance of pink lady apples. Okay, won't give you bananas, won't give you pears, won't give you oranges. It won't even give you Granny Smith apples. It will just give you pink lady apples, an abundance of them. So nature is orderly. You cannot plant one seed. The DNA in that seed will only allow it to be a pink lady apple. And it is so orderly that if you nurture it in the right way, if it has the right soil and water, etc., it will not only give you one pink lady apple, it gives you hundreds. Hundreds upon hundreds, year in, year out. And I think Angie said last time an apple tree can live for up to 50 years. So how many apples can that tree bear? Not only that, every single apple has seeds in it. So those seeds potentially can become pink lady apples. So you can get millions of apples, millions and millions of apples from just one seed. What has that got to do with you and being a success? Well, it has absolutely everything to do with you. Absolutely everything. Nature is orderly. Nature loves order. In that seed, the pink lady apple seed, the only outcome The only focus in the DNA of that apple seed is that a tree is formed that will bear pink lady apples. And in abundance. So in nature, you'll never go in abundance. But there's also the period of gestation. So this is not where I go through the laws, okay? If you want to learn more, and if you really want to transform your life, you will need to join my coaching program. That's where I go into depth. But there's the law of gestation. That's why it just doesn't happen straight away. But for the sake of this masterclass, okay, what is it saying? So you must have order in your definition of success. It must be clear, crystal clear. And you don't chop and change once you've made that decision. You don't say, oh, I'm going to be a pink lady, apple, and then decide to be a pear, right? So you don't decide that your definition of success is time and money, and then tomorrow it's working 24 hours a day. Okay? You must stay with it. So you must have a clear definition, a clarity in your mind of what it is, and a clarity of who you are. Okay? Okay. And then the next step is changing your mind, because it's not enough just to have a definition. You must change your paradigms. And as we learned in lesson 2, paradigms are very difficult to change. And that's why you need to work with somebody that knows what they're doing. That's why you need to work with somebody that has a track record. In fact, my mentor, Bob Proctor, I remember him saying, and he has said this publicly too, never, ever, ever take advice from somebody that is well-meaning and has not got the track record. How often have you asked, what should I do? What should I do? And you've asked a parent or a partner or a friend who has nowhere near the success that you want. And they say, oh, don't do that. That's too hard. Don't do that. You'll fail. Okay? So Bob Proctor's words here are, never, ever take advice of from somebody that does not have the results that you want. I have the results. I have the track record. And I can take you from where you are now to finally changing those paradigms into the life that you want. Who's ready? Who would love that? Who would want to be living their success in 12 months' time? You let me know, because it's the serious ones, those that have made a true decision, that the universe starts to conspire and help. But what I have learned is people that don't invest time and money in themselves, nothing really ever changes. So let's talk about decisions. This is going to be the most important lesson of your whole life. Why? Because if you do not do this, if you do not make a decision, the rest of this masterclass does not matter. Okay? The rest of this masterclass does not matter. It's not going to make a difference. And I'm going to share a story with you. But it's really frustrating, because one of the frustrating things in our society is that we have not been taught to make decisions. So what happens? What do you think I should do? What do you think I should do? What do you think I should do? And on my journey, and you'll understand what I mean when I share my story, on my journey, I have learnt that the universe does not conspire to help a person with a dream. When I was in my 20s, I read The Alchemist from Paulo Coelho. Who's read that book? I absolutely love that book. And I made sure that I would read it every single year because I wanted more. I wanted to live my dream. I wanted to do what I'm doing now, have an international coaching company. And I used to remember that quote. He said, the universe conspires to help a person with a dream. But I was dreaming and dreaming and dreaming for years and years, and nothing happened. There was some growth, okay, but not much. And what I learnt is the universe does not conspire to help a person with a dream. The universe conspires to help the person that makes the decision to have their dream. What is a decision? A decision is that it is done. A decision means that it is done. Full stop. A decision is not, I will do until the going gets tough. And then the going gets tough. I'll give up. Or I'll do it next year. I'll do it next time. The economy's not good. I'll do it next time. A decision means that you will do what it takes. You are all different. You have different backgrounds. You have a different definition of success. And you have different desires. You want something different out of your lives. But ultimately, you're all the same. One thing I know for sure about every single one of you, is that you can exceed. You can fulfill your definition of success and way more. Absolutely 100%. You have it in you. But I also know where you're coming from. Oh, I really want to do this. I want to get some support. I know, this is the most important thing for me, but I can't. It's not the right time. I can't. I don't have money. I can't. My husband or wife won't let me. Really? This is your life, and it's going by. And I understand where you're coming from, because my story was, I got into senior, so I studied psychology, counseling, university degree after university degree, got into senior management at a very young age. I was 26. I really knew how to manifest very well. It was a very steep learning curve. And my career, it just kept growing. So senior management in just under 30 years. So most of my adult life was senior management. Have had portfolios of millions of dollars, 150 team members in my team at one stage. So it all looked good on the outside. 6-figure package, income, great organization I was working for. The CEO would not let me go. I was one of the 2 people in a restructure that he called from 4,000 people saying, what do we do to keep you? Okay. But inside, I was what my friend Jean calls the living dead. I'd wake up, life looked fantastic. I'd go overseas every year, had a comfortable life. It looked great on the outside. But I'd wake up every morning and I was unconscious. I'd drive to work unconscious and stay into enough consciousness to do a job pretty well, I guess. They thought I was great. So, I must have done it pretty well. Got home and I was dead tired. Sunday night would come. I would dread that feeling of waking up in the morning the next day. Who could relate to that? Oh, that heaviness, because next day was Monday and I had to go to work again. It's interesting. We live our life, most of our life, and we call that freedom. We're half dead. For what? Just to pay a mortgage. And ever since I was a child, I had a gift. My gift is what I'm doing right now. So I was a child that babies to 80-year-olds were just attracted to me because I had that something. I could understand their soul. I could see what their burden was. I could see how they could break through. So I used to dream of doing this, leading an international company, doing the work that I'm doing now with all of you beautiful people. So I studied psychology, blah, 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 got into senior management, thinking that was going to be it, and it just wasn't. I was the living dead. And I discovered Bob Proctor probably about 15 years ago, 10 years ago. And what I would do as I was driving to work every single morning and night, I decided to turn off the radio. All I would listen to was Bob Proctor, and sometimes Joe Dispenza, but Bob Proctor was it. And as I was driving to work, I would be imagining that one day and feeling and knowing that one day I was going to share the stage with Bob Proctor. Bob Proctor was going to be my friend. I get absolute chills talking about that now, and especially since he's transitioned. And it wasn't until 2017 that I jumped. And I was in my early 40s, finally decided to jump. So it's the 31st of January 2017. That was my last day in full-time employment. And intuition was so strong that it said, you've got to do this. You've got to do this. So I quit. And not only did I quit a 6-figure salary, I quit when I was $500,000 in debt. $500,000 in debt. Why? Because I knew if I kept going the way I was going, I would never, ever fulfill my dream. And I would hear Bob Proctor in my mind saying 2 things. Winners make decisions quickly and they change them slowly. Losers make decisions slowly and they change them quickly. So I had made a decision. $500,000 in debt. Mind you, the only time I've ever been out of a job since the age of 18 was about a month after I'd come back from Japan in my early 30s. So always, every second week there was a paycheck in my account. Never without work, ever in my adult life, apart from that short stint. Never been in business. Didn't know anything about business. I just knew that I had to do this. And at the back of my mind, I heard Bob saying, winners make decisions quickly and change them slowly. So I had made a decision. This was it. And I cut ties with my job. There was no turning back now. But how in the world was I going to survive when I was $500,000 in debt? And then the next decision I made, because I tried to do it by myself, but my paradigms kicked in. Can you imagine someone $500,000 in debt that's always been working and then they've got no work? It was scary. It was scary. And I didn't know what to do or how to work it out. So I invested another $30,000 in myself to get the help to break through and lead a successful business. $30,000 when I had no job, $500,000 in debt. And I heard Bob's voice, two things. The other thing he said, make a decision and the money always comes. So you don't make a decision when the times are easy. You make the decision to change your life even though times are tough, even though it's the right time. I did not know where the money was going to come from. That whole year was actually tough. But let me ask you a question. So that was just over 5 years ago. A few years ago, my goal back then, I used to work, right? And I had a 6-figure job, and I used to imagine replacing my annual income with a monthly income and how that would be. That was my goal back then. Guess what? I've not only replaced my monthly income, I've done it in a week. Several weeks, I've done it in a week. What if back then I decided it's not the right time? You're $500,000 in debt. You shouldn't be doing this now. Just wait until you get that debt down. I'm getting absolute chills going up my spine as I share this. What if I decided to stay with the living dead in my 6-figure paying job because it wasn't the right time? You see, that would have been an easy decision for me to make. It was thinner than this. I was hanging on a shoestring. I could have easily said, no, don't do it. I could have easily listened to my European parents say, what are you doing? You're quitting a nice, cozy job where they love you with all this money. I could have easily listened to my peers at work, my boss, the CEO, saying, you've got a great career ahead of you. Stay here, it's safe. What are you doing? I could have easily listened to my partner saying, and he's incredible, my partner is absolutely incredible, saying, you can do this, but it's not the right time. Do it when you've got some money under you. I could have easily listened to all my friends and community laughing at me, saying, what the hell is she doing? She's gone mad. Let me ask you a question. Where would I have been now had I listened to everybody else, base my opinion on other people's opinion that don't have anywhere near the success that I so wanted? Where would that dream of mine be as I was driving in my car, dreaming that one day Bob Proctor is going to be my dear friend and I'm going to share the stage with him and he's going to be so proud of me. You see, he did not even know I existed then. I mean, there's 26 million people in Australia. There's, I think, 30 million in Canada. There's billions of people around the world. There's millions of people wanting to meet Bob. Why me? Why was it me that ended up not only meeting Bob, becoming friends with him? I've got email after email from my dear friend Bob. And he's saying that Susanna is one of the top people in the world doing what she's doing. What if I waited? Bob's no longer with us now. He is in spirit. I really believe that he is right with us right now, but he's not in the physical form. And one day, we're not going to be here either. I have absolute shivers running down my spine. Me sharing this story is even stronger than what it has ever been because of Bob's passing. You see, you have intuition inside you. And your intuition is telling you to jump. I can guarantee that 100% of the people here today are saying jump. Let's do this. Let's make a decision and jump on board with Susanna. Let's invest the next 12 months so that I can live my success. But some of you are saying, oh, I can't do that because I don't have the money. I can't do that because my partner is saying no. I can't do that because it's not the right time. Why would you ever go against yourself, your own intuition? And what I've learned so much in the past just over 5 years, almost coming up to 5.5 years. So much. But what I've learned is, and what I shared earlier, the universe will not help you if you're comfortable. If I stayed comfortable, we would not be here together right now. I get message after message of people sharing how their lives have changed. And just because I decided to say yes to me, to go through the discomfort, just because one crazy woman said yes, she's going to do what it takes. She's going to find a way to survive, even though she's $500,000 in debt. And it was my debt. It wasn't our debt. It wasn't me and my partner. It was me. Okay? It was mortgages, good debt, but nevertheless, it was still debt. What if I said no? All of those people that send me messages every single week saying, thank you so much, my life has changed, that would not have happened. You would not be here now. The 6-figure turnovers in 7 days, in weeks, would not have happened. My accountant would not call me and say, we need to change the structure of your business, because I don't know what's happened, but I haven't seen this before, how quickly it's grown. And you know what? I haven't scratched the surface of the surface yet. I'm going to continue to help people. I'm going to continue to help people change their lives. And this is not about me. I share my story with all of you because this masterclass is meant to be you, about you, and for you. So the question is, what about you? What are you going to do? What are you going to do with your life? And are you going to make a decision to make it the greatest life that you've ever had? You see, I have a special deal in that towards the end of your book. It's Your Two Minds Team of Opulence. And if you are going to follow your intuition and say, yep, that's it, I'm going to do this, okay, jump on board with that deal. Anyone that comes on board in the next 24 hours, I will give you 3 one-on-one sessions with me. I don't do one-on-ones much anymore. I only take 5 people a year, and it's very expensive to work with me 5 for those one-on-ones. But if you're ready and intuition is telling you to jump, take Bob Proctor's advice, as I did. Make a decision, and the money always comes. You see, without a decision, and we haven't been taught to make decisions. So we go through our life saying, what do you think I should do, Natalia? What do you think I should do, Mum and Dad? And we have never, ever learnt to do that. And we have never, ever learnt and been taught how to make decisions properly. So it's time for you to change that. I made a decision based upon my goal, based upon my dream, based upon my decision, my intuition. And has it paid off? It has paid off tremendously. You have a decisions article at the back of your workbook. I want you all to study that. It's one of my favorite articles from Bob Proctor. And he starts the article by saying, once you make the decision, you'll find the money every time. Decisions or lack of them are responsible for the breaking or making many a career. Individuals who have become very proficient at making decisions without being influenced by the opinions of others are the same people whose annual incomes fall into the 6 and 7-figure categories. Whose opinion are you listening to? Are you listening to the naysayers? Are you listening to people around you that are loving and want the best for you, but they are ignorant? Or are you listening to that 99.99999% of yourself, which is the magic, which knows what the right thing for you is? Have you made a decision today that success is yours? Your definition for success will be yours. And a decision isn't something that you say yes to because we're all together and it's all warm and cozy and you know, and we all feel great. And then next week, if you're out on your own, back to life, back to reality, you decide, oh, I'm not going to do it anymore. Because that's what's going to happen. That's almost guaranteed. That's what we have found. People do not invest in themselves, do not end up getting the long-term results because your paradigms are difficult to change on your own. And Bob says in his article, nobody can see you making a decision, but they will almost always see the results of your decision. So back in 2010, when I left my secure 6-figure paying job, and everybody was laughing at me or thinking, what's going on? They were confused. She must be mad. They did not know inside me, this is a woman that has made a decision. No matter how tough it gets, It's going to be done. And all of those people, the naysayers, come back. And well, not all of them have come back actually, because they won't tell you the truth. So, but many of them have come back and said, wow, I want to do what you're doing. I want to do something that I love. Wow, how did you do that? So no one can see you making decisions, but they will almost always see the results of your decision. So my results now are the decision that I made back in 2017, where I looked so unlikely of success. I couldn't even talk to people, let alone jump on board and talk to thousands of people. But the decision was made. And when a true decision is made and you move through that decision and the challenges, that is when the universe conspires to help you. My goal was to replace my annual income with a monthly income. But then what it does, it gives you, it's generous, and it replaces your monthly income with your weekly income. That wasn't my goal to do it in a week. It happened. It happened and it felt like magic. But it's not magic, as my Bob used to say. Susanna, it's not magic, it's you. You see, the magic is inside you. It's never out there. It's inside you. But the question really is, what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with it? So, you don't require a doctorate degree in psychology or psychiatry to understand that you are going to have difficulty in your life by permitting your mind to remain in an ambivalent state for any period of time. The person who does permit it to exist will become very despondent and virtually incapable of any type of productive activity. It is obvious that anyone who finds themselves in such a mental state is not living. The living dead, as my friend Jim would say. At best, they are merely existing. A decision or a series of decisions would change everything. I hope, my friends, that you have said yes to you. And not just said yes to do, you made the decision to actually make it happen. You will have challenges, you will have your own hero's journey. And looking back now on my journey, and my journey has just started. Looking back now on my journey, I see that the challenges were there for a reason. They were actually gifts. And they were teaching me to become more of myself, more of that 99.99%. You have that 99.9999% of pure source energy inside you. And if you make a decision to come on board with us, with me, you will find a way. I had one client, she shared on her last day of her 12 months in my coaching program. She shared that when she first met me, she had made a decision to work with me. And I knew she had. She said, I'll get back to you in 2 weeks' time. I knew though, that's not what she meant. She called me back the next day because I could feel the energy. I could see when a person is serious or not. She called me back and had found the money the next day. On her last day of the program, she said, she shared with everybody, so I am not making this up. I think both Jill and Joe were in that session. Natalia's a bit newer, so they're here. They've witnessed this. She said, when I joined you, I just said I just knew I had to work with you. But she said we could not pay our mortgage bill that month. But she said, I knew, so I found the money. And she said, I first put down a goal of having $20,000 in the bank. And I heard you say, go for what you really want and just play with it. And she said, I trust Susanna. I'll put $200,000 in the bank. That was her goal. And I'm just going to trust her. 8 weeks later, she sent me a photo. 8 weeks before she finished, so it would have been on her 10th month in the program, she sent me a photo of her bank statement. Guess how much money she had in there? She had $208,000 in her bank account. On her last day with everybody, all of my other clients, she said, it's my last session and I need to share something. So she shared her story and she said, I made a decision. I didn't tell Susanna, though, that I was going to put it to 1 million. And she said, and I'm leaving today. On the weekend, I had $1 million in my bank account. This is the power of somebody that goes in 100%. What would have happened to her if she said, no, it's not the right time? It's not the right time. My husband doesn't want me to do this. We don't have any money. The mortgage we can't pay the mortgage. What would happen? She certainly would not have had that million. Whatever you want to do, we will support you to get there. We have the greatest coaching program out and the greatest team of support success advisors. And anyone that jumps on board just for the next 24 hours, after that it's not available. You have 3 one-on-one coaching sessions with me. You will also be able to join my Money Manifestation program, which is a program that I designed to help people have affluence in their life. And that will be on Saturday, the 18th of June, I believe, if I'm not wrong, but Saturday in 2 weeks' time. As a part of the package. That's another $10,000 in the package. You're getting that completely free. So your homework for tonight is read the decision article, go deeper with this homework, connect to your success advisor, use this time to make it the best masterclass that you've ever experienced. Go deeper, okay? You deserve so much success. You were born to be abundant. You were born to have your time and money freedom. That's why it's a desire in you. I believe in every single one of you. Please just know, though, the decision that you make today is the decision that you'll be living with in 12 months' time. I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow, where we go deeper into the work that we've done. And then my incredible team will be on the weekend with something very special for you all. Thank you so much. Make the right decision, because you will never ever soar if you don't jump off the cliff. And the magic is within you. It's time to start using it. Have a great day. I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow.